Hi, I'm Matt. You may know me as Build Bank.
Hi, I'm Lauren. If you watch our streams, you may know me as The Lozenger.
And today we're talking about what it looks like to live differently as a gamer.
How did I become a Christian? That's an excellent question. Well, growing up, I always went to church with my mum and my sister. So that was our routine. Sunday morning, we'd go to church. And I can't remember a time where I didn't believe in Jesus or a time where I didn't love Jesus. But when I got to the age of 12, we had a Eucharist or communion at school because I went to a Church of England school, which meant that we took the bread and the wine. And off the back of that service, I had quite a lot of questions just around communion, around how people do it, around why we take it. And I can't remember exactly what was said, but as we were setting out the youth room, me and my mum, we were having a conversation about all these different things, and it was in that moment where I made that decision of, yes, I want to follow Jesus. This is the thing that I want to do with my life. So that was sort of how I became a Christian. It wasn't exactly a big eureka moment, or it didn't even seem that life-changing because I already believed in Jesus and loved Jesus before that moment, but that was the moment where that decision was made of, yes, this is what I want for the rest of my life.
Ooh, good question. I became a Christian pretty early on. My parents were missionaries in Paraguay, so I always grew up hearing them talk about God and what they believed and their passion for missions and telling other people about it. So it's always been something that I knew about, but it wasn't until I was about 7 that the message of what it means to be a Christian kind of stuck out to me. And I gave my life to the Lord, but I still didn't have a really good, genuine understanding of what it means to be a Christian. I just kind of knew the story. I didn't know what it meant to act on it. And I think really that is probably the story for most people, is that becoming a Christian is kind of a lifelong thing. You have moments of realization and clarity, but you're always growing. And I think when I became like a teenager, I realized the emotional aspect of God's love and His sacrifice for me, which came with a whole new understanding of my relationship with Him. And then continuing on, I went to Bible school to get practical knowledge about the Bible, what it looks like to live on earth as a Christian and what we should do. And that led me to being in full-time youth ministry, which is what I'm doing now. And it's just been kind of a slow progress of me realizing more and more that the Christian life is for me, and that I'm in it for the long haul. Yeah, I got into gaming really early with a PlayStation 1. I had a PlayStation 1 when I was like 5, 6, 7. We lived in Paraguay, so it was hard to get games for the PlayStation, but there was a guy that sold like pirated games down the street, and he sold them for really cheap. Paraguay is a third world country, so they don't really get access to many things, so this was kind of the only way to play games. It wasn't like we were going out of our way to buy games cheaply. But we got a lot of games doing that. I think some of my favorites was like Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, Dino Crisis 2 was awesome. And it was like, video games was so nostalgic for me, or is nostalgic for me, because it's just a moment where you can really be a kid, you can have fun, you can enjoy stories, and not worry about the rest of the world for a little bit. But when I became a teenager, I started buying my own video games and such. I got into Xbox 360 I had for a long time. Played the classics, Call of Duty, Halo, Batman. Oh man, one of my favorite games, Batman Arkham City. That's a good story. And then recently I switched to PC, and I've been playing Minecraft for like over 10 years now. It's consumed my life.
How did I get into gaming? So growing up, we used to play video games a lot. It was a family sort of way of bonding, usually me, my dad and my sister. So we'd sit and we'd play video games on my dad's Nintendo 64. Mario Kart was a big favourite, as well as Super Mario, and I always forget the name of that one. Doesn't matter. Banjo-Kazooie?
That's the game.
Yes, Banjo-Kazooie. The one where you've got the foxy guy with the banjo and the ostrich in his backpack. So those are some core childhood memories as well. For the PlayStation 2, we used to play on that constantly, and our favourites were always the buzz games, where you had the red buzzer with the 3 colours, and in particular there was like quiz games using that, but there was also this monkey game where you'd have all these challenges, and it was like all these mini games, and it was just so much fun. And when the Nintendo Wii came out, the 3 of us all chipped in towards getting one, and a lot of my time was playing that, or across my friend's house across the street, playing on his Xbox 360. So growing up, I played a lot of video games like that on consoles, and then during secondary school I stopped playing video games, not for any particular reason, just I had a lot of hobbies, and when you've got a lot of hobbies you can't literally do all of them at the same time. So I got back into gaming in 2020 in March, just before the pandemic and lockdown was happening. I was at university at the time, and the universities had decided to close and had said that we were all going online. And I was in a long distance relationship, and it was difficult enough, and then having that was just that little bit harder. So I suggested to my boyfriend that he teaches me how to play Minecraft, and I am so glad that I did, because it is a fantastic game, and from that I've just got back into gaming again. So I love playing Minecraft, and I love playing some of the games on the Switch as well.
I think it's important when looking at all aspects of life. As a Christian, God calls us to reflect Jesus in everything we do, and I think video games is no exception. So when I sit down to play video games, whether it's like casual for my own pleasure or playing with other people, I do it to glorify God. I think about things that are going to influence me, things that maybe I shouldn't be watching or doing, and in my personal life. And then when I'm live with other people, I'm very conscious of the words that I say to people, because I don't want to be just another rage gamer that's screaming and shouting terrible names to people. I want to be encouraging. I want to uplift people, and I want to show that not everybody is miserable in the world, that there are people that are genuine and care about each other.
When I stream, my outlook isn't for like my own popularity or anything like that. It's very much that mindset of how does this reveal a bit of who Jesus is, because I just want people to be able to see me and see she's a bit different. It might be she's not aggressive, it might be she's really kind, but for people to see that and for me to say, well yeah, that's because of Jesus and the way that I live differently in general, and that translates into gaming too.
Having played Minecraft for so long, it has really encouraged me and made me realize that I'm capable of a lot more than I thought. Seeing small successes in Minecraft and building big cathedrals has made me realize that I can actually be incredibly patient and work really hard to obtain a goal. And with the successes with that, I've been able to have successes in other things in life. I'm currently working on learning how to do 3D modeling for games and such. And encouraging that type of lifestyle, I think, is really important. Encouraging people to try difficult things, to try their best, and to be creative, because as a Christian, we serve a very creative God. I mean, God created the universe and everything in it. He created the idea of creativity. And so to encourage people in that, I think, is one of the best things you can do.
And I love that we get to do Minecraft Church and explore different ways of being able to show what Christianity is like through Minecraft, which is, Minecraft community in general is really good at using Minecraft to be able to teach and bring community together, and so it's really cool to be able to do that off-brand culture too.
If you could play one game for the rest of your life, what game would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question. Minecraft would be the easiest one. It'd be the easiest one. It would be, I mean, you'd have the most to do, but I think maybe I'll choose one more. nostalgic. Yeah, I really like Batman Arkham City. That's a good game.
Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and check out some of our other videos.